Okay. We are recording back at it again because this world will not save itself.
Yeah, because if we don't save it, it's not a question of who will,
Because nobody
it,
will.
except us.
That's what I mean.
And if you just do exactly what we tell you to,
The world shall be saved.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, dare I say, then it probably end up saving itself, but metaphorically speaking. So it's simple. It's simple, guys. Come on.
Yes, but metaphors won't save the world. The harsh,
Yeah,
concrete truth and facts will save the world. And that's what we're here to bring you, particularly on the topic of the music industry. Isn't that right?
that's right. Truth. All about truth. All
Yep.
about the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so this first thing I want to talk about, this actually sparked a conversation while I was in my workplace.
Oh,
And this there's these some of my coworkers were talking about how some songwriters are doing the deal with the devil, the Illuminati. I was thinking to myself, like, this is what's wrong with the world. And it's not because they think the Illuminati exists. It's the fact that they think that these artists are dealing with the devil.
mm.
Okay. All right. And I'm about to bring some evidence to the table.
All right.
Right.
Sweet. That's what
Okay.
we like.
Right. So this is a pretty recent, very popular rap song by OT Genesis. By the way, the T stands for truth.
Obviously.
Yeah, and O is the original truth. And his name also A for Genesis because it's Newspeak. It's Newspeak,
Yeah.
the
The.
true version of Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
he produced this song called "Cut It," and it's also a really good song because anybody and their mother could sing along to it
Right.
because the song goes, "Cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it." And I know you're already starting to whimper from the musical genius of these song lyrics,
It's amazing
but
to me because what I like is again is the relatability, is the ability for everyone to sing along, and that's
yeah,
amazing. I mean, that is definitely an achievement.
right. And some people think the song is about disregarding and abandonment, right? But
Why?
what? Yeah, I don't know. People are
You're right.
they're
You're
so
right.
blind to the truth
Yeah,
they don't even know.
the truth of
Okay,
Genesis.
right? Exactly. That's in the name and the original truth of Genesis. So the song is actually revealing to you how to become a famous artist, right?
Okay.
Right. In the modern society, and it's not dealing with the devil. The key is actually turkey sandwiches.
Oh, huh. Hence the cut it.
Exactly. Yeah.
You can't make turkey sandwiches without cutting the bread and the turkey.
Yeah. Then it's a mess at that point. You still have like the crust on it and stuff. I mean,
You gotta cut it. That's the real deal.
yeah. I mean, you imagine biting into a turkey sandwich with a crust still on it and like all the remains of the bread is inside of your teeth. That's a pain in the butt to floss.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah, and some people don't even floss. And then now you have the residue from this uncut turkey sandwich.
And that's fine if they want to do that, if they don't want to floss.
Right, right, of
But
course.
obviously, especially to those people, it is more considerate to properly cut the breads and the
Yeah,
turkey.
yeah, yeah, yeah. If you've seen our last episode, of course, we'd still have the turkey in the plastic for the sandwich, but you know, at least show the decency to cut it.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
just not for the sake of decency itself, because that's just a social construct. There's nothing
right,
really indecent about any kind of human behavior. But if you're gonna be a singer, if you're gonna be a singer, and when you want to sing along, it's gonna be hard to do it if you've got all this stuff on the mouth. So just cut the bread and cut the turkey. And that is
Right.
the key. That is the key. I love that someone finally made the song explaining that much.
Right. Right. And it's crazy, because people, you know, they're very religious people, and they'll think about like these deals with the devil, and they don't realize that there is 4 quarters and there's only a total of 4 days, uh, by the self-proclaimed genius who, sorry, the genius who created Time Cube. Um,
Uh huh.
you know, for those 4 quarter rotations, and that's the actual truth. There's actually, I don't know why they think of the devil or anything like that, but
When they should be focusing more on finding the four corners around their life, the four corners of truth.
right, 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 because there's no other logic than belly button logic.
Absolutely,
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely. Um, well, I mean, there might be. You can never say never, but it will always come down to that. It'll just be different ways to make the same point, to articulate the same logic. Because,
right,
the same way you can say something in different languages, you can also use language in different ways to say the same thing. But it will all come down and back to the belly button logic for sure, and most definitely. I'm glad to know that not everything in the music industry is lost.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They so like people say they can, Illuminati, confirmed famousness is like, no, 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 no. It's
It doesn't make
turkey
sense
sandwiches.
because it doesn't make sense because the Illuminati thing, the whole symbol is a triangle. That
Right.
doesn't have four corners. So
But you know what does have 4 corners?
a turkey sandwich,
A turkey. There you go.
yeah, if you cut it right.
They- They've been trying to tell you this entire time, and people have been missing the point.
But that guy, that Truth Genesis, that's what
Right.
he's saying. He's reminding people about the genesis of truth. You know, the four
Right.
corners
Eh,
of a turkey sandwich and the real reason for success. It's not
Yeah.
talent, like obviously. It's not the ability to, write, um, or find a rhythm. Um,
Whatever that is.
yeah, whatever that is. Because I mean, yeah, you can always find a rhythm, and then you arbitrarily decide this is good rhythm, this is bad rhythm. There's no such thing, really.
Yeah.
What there is a well cut, four cornered turkey sandwich, and that's the
That's
key.
right.
That's the key.
Yeah. We've been the 4 corners, man. People have been focused on the little triangle on the American currency, but they're not focusing on the entire currency. What does the dollar bill all the way up to 100 have?
Four corners.
4.
Yes, and it's even more obvious in the quarters and in the coins, because
Yeah.
those don't have multiple four corners. They have an infinite amount of four corners.
Right.
It's amazing.
They encompass the Earth and the rotation.
Yeah,
No, they're circular.
yeah,
You tried spinning a quarter before?
an infinite amount of corners.
Yeah. I, I wish people understood this.
Yeah. Well, with artists like Truth Genesis, they one day they will, and obviously, with us being here and being able having the opportunity to tell them.
Right. Right. And there's been other artists who've done it before, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
There's
They've
always
they've
those who try, but the problem
yeah,
is that they always try in a dissimulated way. Like even
yeah,
Truth Genesis didn't just come out and say you need to cut these dead turkey sandwiches to succeed in our music industry, right? He just like cut it, and leaves the figuring out of the message, to the true, to those intellectuals that pay really good attention to these details, like
Right.
yourself.
The chosen ones.
Yeah, like yourself, and like me. I
Yeah.
immediately got it as soon as you explained it to me. But and unfortunately, most of the music artists hide it too well. That would be my concern and my complaint. Even those who care to say anything about it, they just hide their messages too well, and it's really well, almost unproductive in a way. In
Yeah, like that song people were talking about that Toby Mac created, and they said, he literally said it was stupid, and he performed it with the knowledge that people, he's thinking it was stupid, but the whole Red Solo Cup song, right?
uh-huh.
And people are thinking like, oh, it's about a stupid Red Solo Cup, or it's about just him drinking beer. And then, no. That is the beverage of choice to go with his turkey sandwich. But it was just so elusive, you
Yeah,
know?
because I was just saying, it's really they're trying to get the message out, but at the same time they can't do it so clearly because otherwise they'll just get shunned because we don't live in a saved world anymore, and they will just get shunned over their true impressions.
Yeah.
Um, so they need to hide them, and it's sad, really, that they need to,
Yeah.
as much as they're woke, they're just not that proficient in communicating, these reveals.
Right. And here's the crazy part too is that um, this is something that I think still encompasses the music industry, and it still is predominant somewhat today, and that's radio. And
Uh huh.
there's certain things you can say or can't say on radio, right?
Yep, definitely.
And the thing is, you have people like think, oh, you can't say certain swear words or certain kind of like slurs or anything like that on the radio. But in addition to that, the mention of the turkey sandwich, you know, it's almost career stifling. You know what I mean?
It's
And
it's it's downright oppression, in my opinion.
yeah,
It's oppressive to the truth. That's
yeah,
all there is. That's all there is. It's a tough word. But it's a very meaningful word, and in this case, very accurate word.
yeah,
It's oppressive.
yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, think about it. You can't spell truth without T, an R, and a U, and you also can't spell turkey without a T and an R and a U.
Yep. They go hand in hand together. One is made of the other, and vice versa. But yet, you cannot speak these things in the music industry. I guess that's the kind of music that we would make, right? That's the kind of song that we would make.
Yeah,
We would make a song specifically about communicating this to people, so that they know what really matters. If they care about the music industry, if they want to get good, um, I'm sorry to use that expression, but it's just how it is. If you want to get ahead in the music industry, that's what you have to care about. That's what you have to know, and we would definitely, that would be our first priority, is doing a good job of communicating that, because while there are people out there trying to communicate it, unfortunately they're just not doing a good job of it. But we could do it though.
yeah, yeah. It's like we could it's sort of like the better intention of what the Flowbots was trying to do with their Mayday song, where they
Uh-huh.
put a lot of buzzwords in it with the exclusion of turkey sandwich.
Because they're too afraid of being obvious.
Yeah, yeah, they were too afraid.
Yeah.
And the thing about the other song that's about handlebars or whatnot, this,
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's just handlebars, not necessarily the handlebars on a bicycle. It's how to efficiently handle a bar. You need to serve turkey sandwiches there.
Again, it's pretty obvious to someone who is inside. Again, it's one of those things. It's obvious to those who know, but
Yeah.
I mean, those are not the ones who need to hear it, you know. So
Yeah.
it's kind of unproductive in that sense, and that's the problem with some of
Yeah.
these things that they're too dissimulated.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need a song that's more clever and straightforward in delivering this necessary message. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
I agree. I
you
agree.
can go far with talking about like poultry, of which one gets pardoned by the president every year. Get lay down some hints. We would have what we would do, dear audience. The key to this would be to spread the message across an album instead of trying to make it in a song. You would spread it around the album, so you would make a song about a piece of poultry that you would cut up to serve in a meal, Thanksgiving. That's fine, everybody's okay with that.
Right.
And then you would describe a bird being rescued by the leader of a free and safe society once a year, and that would create the obvious connection that most of you are already making,
Right.
and
And
so forth across the album. And by the time you end the album, you would know what these guys are talking about is the importance of cutting and having a turkey sandwich, and how
Yeah.
it influences my personal success in the music industry and perhaps even other things.
Yeah. A turkey sandwich, because after that you're going vegan. Remember.
But yeah, I mean, turkey, chicken, that's pretty close to vegan.